Welcome back. In today's video, we are diving deeper into the life-changing lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've already learned the basics in the first 5 chapters, understanding assets and liabilities, the importance of financial education, and why the rich think differently about money. Now, in chapters 6 to 9, the journey continues. These chapters move us from simple ideas to real actions. They show us the mental blocks that stop people from becoming wealthy, the courage needed to see opportunities, the first steps to actually get started, and finally, the clear to-do list that anyone can follow. So stay with me as we explore chapters 6 to 9 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. By the end, you'll not only understand the principles, you'll also know exactly how to start applying them in your own life. Chapter 6: Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money. This chapter is powerful because it teaches us that job security and a paycheck should not be the only goals in life. Instead, we should focus on learning skills that make us stronger, smarter, and more financially free. Let's break it down in simple steps. 2 different views: job security versus learning. Robert had 2 father figures. His educated dad believed in job security. He thought the safest path was to study hard, get a good degree, and keep a steady job until retirement. His rich dad, on the other hand, believed in learning. He said jobs should not only be about money, they should be about skills. The more skills you develop, the more doors will open for you in the future. The reporter story. Robert tells a story about a reporter he met in Singapore. She was a talented writer and wanted to become a best-selling author. But despite her skills, her books weren't selling. Robert suggested she take a sales course to learn how to sell her writing. She was offended. She said, "I have a master's degree in literature. Why would I lower myself to study sales?" Robert explained gently, "It says best-selling author, not best-writing author. Writing skills were not enough. Sales and marketing skills were also necessary to succeed." This story shows us that talent alone does not guarantee success. We need extra skills, like communication, sales, and marketing, to turn talent into wealth. One skill away from wealth. Robert noticed that many smart, talented, and educated people struggle financially. He calls this being one skill away from great wealth. A doctor may be excellent at medicine but struggle in business. A writer may be brilliant with words but fail at selling books. A mechanic may fix cars perfectly but not know how to run a garage profitably. The truth is, hard work alone is not enough. One extra skill, like sales, marketing, or investing, can multiply your income dramatically. Learning over specialization. Schools often encourage specialization, becoming an expert in one subject. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, and engineers all specialize. Rich Dad taught the opposite. Know a little about a lot. He encouraged Robert to learn accounting, sales, marketing, management, and leadership, not to become an expert in each, but to understand how they work together. This broad knowledge gave Robert flexibility. Instead of being trapped in one career, he could adapt, create businesses, and handle many challenges. Job is just over broke. Rich Dad often joked that the word job stands for just over broke. Most people work for salaries, pay bills, and remain stuck. Even promotions and raises rarely change their financial future. Robert saw this in real life. People work harder each year, but their expenses and taxes also rise. They run like hamsters on a wheel, working furiously but going nowhere. The solution is not just to earn more money, it's to learn more skills that give you freedom. Work to learn, not just to earn. Rich Dad advised young people to take jobs not only for money but also for learning opportunities. For example, if you are shy, work in sales to learn communication. If you fear rejection, work in marketing to build confidence. If you want to lead, take roles that build leadership skills. These skills may not pay big in the short term, but they pay huge in the long run. Robert himself worked at Xerox not for the salary, but to overcome his fear of selling. Once he mastered sales, he resigned and built his own company. The importance of leadership. After leaving a secure job at Standard Oil, Robert joined the Marine Corps to learn leadership. His educated dad was shocked, but Rich Dad congratulated him. Rich Dad said, "The hardest part of running a company is managing people. If you're not a good leader, you'll get shot in the back." Leadership is not taught in most schools, but it is essential in business and life. Skills that matter most. According to Rich Dad, the most important skills for success are 1. Managing cash flow, understanding how money moves. 2. Managing systems, knowing how businesses run. 3. Managing people, leading, motivating, and inspiring others. And above all, sales and marketing skills. The ability to communicate, persuade, and sell ideas is the foundation of wealth. Think about it. McDonald's may not make the best hamburgers, but they are the best at selling and delivering them. That's why they are successful. Why most talented people stay poor. The world is full of talented people, writers, artists, chefs, and professionals, yet many struggle financially. The reason is not a lack of talent but a lack of business and communication skills. For example, Robert's friend was a great artist. He inherited money and spent it on an expensive magazine ad, but it brought no results. Why? Because he didn't understand marketing. Talent without sales knowledge often leads to frustration. Specialization and unions. Robert's educated dad believed in specialization and later became a union leader to protect teachers. Rich Dad believed that overspecialization makes people vulnerable because they depend on one skill. His advice: learn broadly, work in different departments, and build a variety of skills. That way, you are not trapped by one career path. Lifelong learning and giving. Another key lesson is that true wealth comes from constant learning and also from giving. Rich Dad believed in giving first: time, knowledge, and even money. He donated to charities and foundations, and he believed giving attracts more in return. Educated Dad, however, believed he would give when he had extra, but there was never any extra. This shows the difference in mindset between the rich and the poor. So friends, what is the key message of Chapter 6? Don't just work for money, work to learn. Job security may feel safe, but it keeps many people trapped. Learn multiple skills: sales, marketing, leadership, management. Talent alone is not enough. You need the ability to sell and communicate. True financial growth comes from education, adaptability, and giving. The real wealth is not in your paycheck, it is in the skills you build. Those skills will serve you for life, no matter what happens in the economy. Chapter 7. Overcoming Obstacles. This chapter is very important because it talks about the inner struggles that stop people from becoming financially free. It's not just the outside world that creates problems. Our own fears, doubts, and habits can hold us back even more. Rich Dad believed that anyone could become wealthy, but only if they learn to overcome these personal obstacles. The 5 big obstacles. According to Rich Dad, there are 5 main things that stop people from reaching financial independence. These are: 1. Fear. 2. Cynicism. 3. Laziness. 4. Bad habits. 5. Arrogance. Each one of these can become a wall that blocks us from success. Let's look at them one by one. Fear. The fear of losing money. The first obstacle is fear. Almost everyone is afraid of losing money. That fear is natural. Nobody likes to fail, nobody likes to lose. But the difference between the rich and the poor is how they handle that fear. Poor Dad believed in playing safe, getting a secure job, saving money, and avoiding risks. Rich Dad, however, said that losing is part of the game. The rich are not fearless, but they manage their fear differently. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. As children, we fell many times, but we got back up and kept trying. Eventually, we learned. The same is true with money. If you fall financially, maybe a bad investment or a failed business, you can learn, adjust, and try again. Rich Dad explained that failure is the path to success. Winners are not people who never lose. Winners are people who lose, learn, and keep moving forward. Losers, on the other hand, are so afraid of failure that they never even try. So the first lesson here is, don't let fear stop you. Learn from mistakes and keep going. Cynicism, listening to doubts and negativity. The second obstacle is cynicism. Cynicism is that little voice inside us that says, "It won't work. You'll fail. You'll lose money." It also comes from outside, family, friends, or even experts who tell us why something is a bad idea. Robert Kiyosaki gives the example of people who always say, "The economy is bad. Real estate is risky. The stock market is a scam." These people always find excuses for why something won't work. Rich Dad compared them to Chicken Little, the character in the children's story who always says, "The sky is falling." People who listen to cynicism live in fear and never take action. Yes, there are risks in every investment. Yes, sometimes the economy is down. But there are also always opportunities. The rich focus on opportunities, while cynics focus on problems. So the lesson is, don't let doubt and negativity paralyze you. Look for opportunities instead of excuses. Laziness, hiding behind busy work. The third obstacle is laziness. Most people don't think they are lazy because they are busy all the time. But being busy can also be a form of laziness. It's a way to avoid doing the most important things. For example, someone may work long hours at their job but avoid looking at their finances, avoid planning investments, or avoid learning new skills. They say, "I'm too busy," but in reality they are hiding from their financial future. Rich Dad said the cure for laziness is having a strong reason why. If your reason for becoming rich is strong, like wanting freedom for your family, or helping others, you will find the energy to do what's necessary. Without a strong reason, laziness wins. With a strong reason, nothing can stop you. Bad habits, spending first, saving later. The fourth obstacle is bad habits. Many people have the habit of spending first and saving later. They pay everyone else, their landlord, their credit cards, their bills, but they forget to pay themselves. Rich Dad taught Robert to always pay yourself first. This means setting aside money for investments before paying other expenses. At first, this feels hard. Bill collectors may call, and pressure may increase. But this pressure forces you to think creatively about how to make more money. When you pay yourself first, you build the habit of growing assets. Over time, this habit makes you rich. If you always pay yourself last, chances are there will be nothing left to save or invest. So the lesson here is, develop good financial habits. Put money into your asset column before spending on liabilities. Arrogance, thinking you already know. The fifth obstacle is arrogance. Arrogance is dangerous because it stops learning. When people don't know something but pretend they do, they miss opportunities. For example, someone might say, "Investing in stocks is gambling," simply because they don't understand it. Instead of learning, they dismiss it. Another might say, "Real estate is too complicated," without ever studying it. Rich Dad explained that arrogance combined with ignorance is the fastest way to financial trouble. The cure is humility. Always be ready to learn, ask questions, and seek advice from experts. So the final lesson is, stay humble, keep learning, and don't let arrogance block your growth. The Texan mindset. Robert shares an interesting example about Texans. He noticed that in Texas, people have a unique attitude toward risk and failure. When Texans win, they celebrate big. But when they lose, they don't hide in shame. Instead, they brag about how big their failure was, and then they start again. This bold, fearless attitude is something Rich Dad admired. The lesson is that success requires the courage to take risks and accept failures as part of the journey. A personal example. Robert himself faced many financial failures. Not every investment worked out. But each time, he used the loss as a learning experience. Over time, his wins became bigger than his losses, and that's how wealth grew. The poor and middle class often avoid losses completely. But in avoiding losses, they also avoid gains. So, what is the key message of Chapter 7? The biggest obstacles to wealth are not out in the world, they are inside us. Fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance are the true enemies of financial freedom. Fear makes us avoid risks. Cynicism makes us doubt opportunities. Laziness makes us hide behind excuses. Bad habits keep us from building assets. Arrogance keeps us from learning. Once we overcome these inner enemies, money becomes much easier to master. Rich Dad always said, "The hardest part of building wealth is not learning about money, it's mastering your own mind." Chapter 8. Getting started. Up to this point, we've learned important lessons about money, what assets are, why financial education matters, how fear and doubt hold us back, and why it is important to mind our own business. But now comes the big question that everyone asks. How do I actually begin? Robert Kiyosaki admits that building wealth wasn't easy for him either. He faced many struggles, but over time he discovered a simple process that anyone can follow. In this chapter, he shares 10 powerful steps to awaken our financial genius and start the journey to financial freedom. Let's go through them one by one. Step 1. Find a reason greater than reality. The first step is about having a strong reason why. Many people say they want to be rich, but when reality sets in, the long hours, the failures, the sacrifices, they give up. What keeps you going through the hard times is a powerful reason. This reason can be a mix of your don't wants and your wants. For example, I don't want to spend my whole life working for someone else. I don't want to miss my children growing up. I don't want to retire broke like many people do. And then your wants. I want freedom. I want to travel the world. I want money to work for me instead of me working for money. If your reason is strong enough, it will push you through every obstacle. Step 2. Make daily choices. Every day, we make choices with our time and money. With each dollar, we decide, will this move me closer to being rich, or will it keep me poor? Most people spend money on entertainment, luxuries, or things that don't last. Few people choose to invest in their education or in assets. Robert says he constantly invested in his learning. He went to seminars, bought courses, and listened to audiobooks. Some of these changed his life completely. For example, one real estate seminar he attended cost $385, but that knowledge later earned him millions. The point is, choose wisely every day. Don't just buy things, buy education, buy knowledge, and buy assets. Step 3. Choose friends carefully. The people you surround yourself with influence how you think. Robert explains that he has friends who are very rich and others who have very little. He learns from both groups. From the rich, he learns what to do. From those who struggle, he learns what not to do. He warns us not to listen to chicken littles, people who are always saying, "The sky is falling." These are the friends who always find reasons why something won't work. If you spend too much time with negative people, you'll become negative too. Instead, choose friends who talk about money, business, and opportunities. Be around people who are learning, growing, and moving forward. Step 4. Master a formula, then learn a new one. Robert says that wealth is built on formulas, step-by-step methods that work. For most people, the only formula they know is, go to school, get a job, work for money, pay bills. That's why they stay stuck. To grow rich, you need to learn new formulas. Robert himself learned how to buy real estate foreclosures, and that formula earned him millions. After he mastered it, he went on to learn other investment methods. The lesson is simple: learn one recipe, practice it until you master it, and then keep learning new ones. In today's fast-changing world, the ability to learn quickly is more valuable than what you already know. Step 5. Pay yourself first. This step is about self-discipline. Most people pay everyone else first, the government, the landlord, the bank, and only save what is left, which is usually nothing. Rich Dad taught Robert to do the opposite: pay yourself first. This doesn't mean being irresponsible. It means setting aside money for investments before paying other expenses. When money is tight, instead of raiding savings, you push yourself to think of new ways to earn more. The discipline of paying yourself first builds strength and forces your financial genius to come alive. It's not easy, but it's the habit that separates the rich from the poor. Step 6. Pay your brokers well. Robert says, if your advisors are good, pay them well. Many people try to cut corners by using cheap or discount brokers, but a good professional can make you far more money than they cost. He surrounds himself with smart accountants, lawyers, and brokers who not only help him make money but also teach him along the way. He treats them fairly, because if they are rewarded, they are motivated to bring him even better opportunities. The lesson: don't be stingy when it comes to advice. The right team can accelerate your success. Step 7. Be an Indian giver. This step may sound strange, but here's what it means. A wise investor always asks, how soon can I get my money back? For example, Robert bought a condo for $50,000. Within 3 years, he had recovered his money through rent. After that, everything the condo earned was pure profit. He calls this getting something for nothing. Smart investors look not only at return on investment but also at what assets they get free once their initial money is recovered. That is financial intelligence. Step 8. Use assets to buy luxuries. Rich Dad taught Robert never to buy luxuries with borrowed money. Instead, use assets to pay for luxuries. For example, Robert wanted a Porsche. Instead of taking out a loan, he invested in real estate until the cash flow from those assets paid for the car. That way, the luxury was not a burden, it was a reward funded by his investments. The lesson: let your assets pay for your lifestyle. Don't let liabilities trap you in debt. Step 9. Choose heroes. Heroes are powerful because they inspire us and make difficult things look easy. As a child, Robert pretended to be his baseball heroes when playing. As an adult, he studied financial heroes like Warren Buffett and Donald Trump. By copying their thinking, strategies, and confidence, he tapped into their genius. Heroes shorten the learning curve because they show us what's possible. The question is, who are your financial heroes? Learn from them, copy their mindset, and let their success inspire your own. Step 10. Teach and you shall receive. The final step is about giving. Rich Dad believed in sharing knowledge and money. Whenever he was short, he gave more, and it always came back multiplied. Robert learned that when you teach others about money, you deepen your own understanding. Giving also creates goodwill, connections, and opportunities. So don't just focus on taking, focus on giving. Share your knowledge, your time, and even your resources. The more you give, the more you grow. So, Chapter 8 is all about taking action. Getting started is not about waiting for the perfect time, it's about developing the right mindset and following these 10 steps. 1. Have a strong reason why. 2. Make daily smart choices. 3. Choose your friends carefully. 4. Master one formula, then another. 5. Pay yourself first. 6. Reward your advisors. 7. Get your money back quickly. 8. Use assets to buy luxuries. 9. Learn from heroes. 10. Teach and give to others. The main message is this: wealth is everywhere, but most people are not trained to see it. Once you open your mind, build discipline, and take action, opportunities will appear all around you. Chapter 9. In this chapter, we move from ideas into practical actions. The earlier chapters gave us philosophies about money, But many people want a clear list of things to do. Many of us keep doing the same things again and again, even when they don't work. That's like running on a treadmill and expecting to reach a new place. The first step is simple: stop doing what doesn't work. Pause, reflect, and look for a new direction. The second step is to look for new ideas. You don't always have to invent something. Sometimes, it's about finding the right book, the right formula, or the right mentor. Successful people are always learning. If you find a book that teaches you a method, try it instead of letting others talk you out of it. Remember, many people who give advice have never done it themselves. The third step is powerful: learn directly from people who have already succeeded. Take them out for lunch, ask questions, and listen. People who have walked the path you want to walk often love to share their knowledge. Their guidance can save you years of trial and error. Another action is to take classes, read books, and attend seminars. Education is not just what you get in school, it's what you keep learning throughout your life. Some people avoid paying for courses, thinking they're too expensive. But the truth is, the right education can make you financially free, while ignoring it can keep you stuck in the same place forever. Next is make lots of offers. In real estate or business, you can't just sit and wait for the perfect deal. Look at many opportunities and make offers, even if they seem low at first. Sellers often start with a high price. Negotiation is a game. Sometimes the answer is no, but sometimes you'll be surprised with a yes. The important thing is to take part in the game, instead of waiting on the sidelines. Connected to this is the idea of treating deals like dating. You don't find the right partner by sitting at home. You go out, meet people, talk, negotiate, and see what happens. Business is the same. Search, offer, reject, accept. It's all part of the process. Another tip is to spend time in one area regularly. Walk, jog, or drive around the same neighborhood every month. Over time, you'll notice changes. New businesses opening, old signs staying too long, moving trucks arriving. Change plus a bargain equals opportunity. That's how investors spot deals before others do. Also, shop for bargains in every market. Most consumers buy when prices are high and run away when prices drop. But smart investors do the opposite. Just like buying items on sale at the supermarket, the best time to invest is when assets are cheap. Another step is to look in the right places. Many people search where everyone else is looking, which usually means higher prices. But smart investors learn strategies like auctions, tax sales, or special markets where they can buy assets for less. The key is to think differently and act differently. A very smart approach is to find buyers first, then sellers. Instead of buying something and hoping to sell it, look for people who already want to buy, then go find the asset and connect the two. This way, you reduce your risk and often get a part of the deal for free. And here's another golden rule: think big. Small thinkers stay small because they only look at what they can afford right now. But bigger thinking often opens bigger opportunities, like group deals or volume discounts. Even if you're starting small, never let your mind stay small. We must also learn from history. Every great company, every successful person, started small. Many faced failures before their big success. From Colonel Sanders to Bill Gates, their stories prove that it's not about age or background, it's about persistence and action. Finally, the most important lesson: action beats inaction. Reading, learning, and planning are good, but nothing happens until you take the first step. You can only discover opportunities when you move. So, to sum up, stop doing what doesn't work. Look for new ideas and try them. Learn from people who've done it. Keep educating yourself. Make offers, treat business like a game. Watch for bargains and changes. Think bigger than your current situation. And above all, take action. This chapter reminds us that wealth does not come by waiting or only thinking. It comes by thinking and doing. And that brings us to the end of chapters 6 to 9 of Rich Dad Poor Dad. In these chapters, we learn that building wealth is not just about numbers, it's about mindset, courage, and consistent action. We saw how fear, doubt, and bad habits can hold us back, but with awareness, they can be defeated. We discovered that opportunities are everywhere, but only those who train their minds will recognize them. We also explored 10 powerful steps to begin the journey, and finally, a practical list of actions that anyone can follow today. The message is clear: success with money is not about luck or talent, it is about learning, applying, and never giving up. Rich people don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. They think differently, act differently, and because of that, they live differently. So the question for you is simple: are you ready to put these lessons into practice? Will you take action today to change your financial future? Thank you for joining me in this journey through chapters 6 to 9. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming chapters. Together, let's keep learning, growing, and building the future we all dream of. Until next time, remember, wealth is built one decision at a time, so choose wisely.